Good morning and welcome to our information session on education in sustainable built environments. My name is Jenny Moore and I'm the Associate Dean of the Building Design and Construction Technology portfolio in the School of Construction and Environment. It's my pleasure to welcome you here this morning, and I'd like to remind all our participants that the session is being video recorded and will be accessible afterwards online at www.bcit.ca/construction. We will also be sending out follow-up information to all the participants with information about the programs we're presenting here today and the relevant URLs, so you can also find all the information online as well. Please hold your questions until the end of the presentation. We'll have plenty of time to respond to questions both from our audience and as well as from the participants that are viewing online. BCIT officially opened its doors in 1964 as a public post-secondary polytechnic institution with 600 students in about 17 programs. Today, we are one of British Columbia's largest polytechnics, actually also one of Canada's largest polytechnics. We have 48,000 students and over 350 full-time and part-time programs, many of which are available online. Our programs span the full breadth of trades and technology education, from certificates to diplomas, bachelor degrees, and master's credentials. We have 6 campuses located in the Vancouver Lower Mainland, located in southwest British Columbia and Western Canada. We also have 13 satellite campuses across the province of British Columbia. And we have 6 schools covering a wide range of areas, including business, computing and academic studies, construction and environment, energy, transportation, and health sciences. And we will specifically be focusing today on the programs offered in the School of Construction and the Environment. The School of Construction and the Environment is concerned with the natural environment, the built environment, and the relationship between them. Our focus is predominantly starting with the understanding that ecosystems are the source of all natural production, from which we extract resources that we use to build our built environment, and from which we extrude a series of waste through engineered systems, which ultimately have to be reabsorbed into our natural ecosystems again. And this cycle of resources is what we use to inform all of our programs in education. Within the school, we focus on connections between the built environment, protecting our natural assets as well as our social assets, Aboriginal culture, ethnic knowledge, young youth as contributors to society, looking at built environment systems and how we can manage those systems to be in balance with natural environments, protecting and informing our infrastructure for green infrastructure, recognizing that it's not just what happens within the city, but also what happens outside of the city, the way that city draws on resources and extrudes wastes to our natural environment. And so this forms those relationships between how we're extracting resources and managing our waste in the relationships of our built environments in our cities. The School of Construction and Environment is integral to the success of British Columbia's green building industry, and particularly that of Vancouver's. So now I'm going to show a quick video about the School of Construction and Environment and the full range of projects and initiatives and credentials that we offer, and then we'll talk specifically about opportunities for sustainable built environment education at British Columbia. So given the full range of programs that we offer, from trades to technologies, we can literally build a city. If you come and take all of our programs, that might take a long time to go through. You might not want to do that. But we do offer the full range, and it's a great opportunity for people that are interested in hands-on education to come to BCIT and take a variety of different courses that help them understand how to build in balance with nature. And we're extremely fortunate to be located in beautiful Vancouver, a city that's recognized internationally for its livability coupled with sustainability. It's been a green building leader for several decades now, and BCIT School of Construction and the Environment has been integral to the success of Vancouver's leadership in this space. We're blessed by a temperate climate, friendly people, and Vancouver is known for and very popular amongst a wide variety of tourists because of our strong multi-ethnic participation of community. We have 52% of people living in Vancouver who speak a language other than English as their primary mother tongue. Vancouver has hosted several international events, most recently the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. And you can see, as you walk around Vancouver, stunning examples of future forward thinking around how to incorporate natural environment, built environment relationships. So just some of the pictures here that we would like to extend opportunities for people to come and learn in Vancouver. So not only online opportunities, but also come and spend some time here and see for yourself what's going on and how we are building the EcoCity here in Vancouver. This is a photo of Vancouver's Southeast Falls Creek, a model sustainable community and home to Canada's first net zero energy building that utilizes waste heat exchange from a nearby sewer system to offset the heating demands of a building. Vancouver is striving to become the world's greenest city and recently launched its Greenest City 2020 Action Plan. And BCIT is an integral part of helping the city achieve its goals, which include an 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, a 33% reduction in the ecological footprint of its residents by 2020, and a goal to achieve one planet living by 2050. These are very ambitious targets, but we applaud Vancouver for looking forward and seeing what's really required in order to become a sustainable city. And BCIT is committed to this initiative and to provide educational support to the city and its professionals to help implement these targets. Specifically then, focusing on education in sustainable built environments, it's a critical component of our well-being and the planet's well-being. Our education focuses on transitioning from reducing harm to contributing to positive well-being, committing to high-performance buildings that achieve zero emissions, bringing in resilience to new climate realities, restoring regenerative living systems, and building cities that integrate ecological realities in the provision of services to support human activities. The School of Construction offers a wide range of courses, and we're specifically targeting now on new courses aimed at building the EcoCity and focusing in on topics of urban metabolism, ecological footprint analysis, green building technology, construction management, environmental engineering, ecological restoration, natural resource management, and sustainable energy management. And I'll spend some time going through some of those program educational offerings that we provide. The School of Construction and Environment was also the first to bring Richard Register, the president of EcoCity Builders, to Vancouver to help us think through how we would transform our curriculum to help support the ambitions of Vancouver to become a sustainable city and a world leader in green city development. Here's a picture of Richard working with our architectural science students on a 3-day charrette where we looked at how to apply EcoCity principles to our campus to transform it to become an example of EcoCity development. We are now also working with EcoCity Builders to develop a course called Building the EcoCity. This course studies a variety of topics, introducing the builder sequence concept of urban ecosystems, how cities relate to the hinterlands on which they draw resources, and how they extrude waste and how those can be mitigated. Exploring the structural elements of eco-cities, getting into that really hyper-dense three-dimensional structures that we need in order to create fully pedestrianized cities that are not reliant on the automobile. Looking at the sustainability assessment of the built environment, including concepts such as ecological footprint and the International EcoCity Framework and Standards, which our school is also collaborating with EcoCity Builders and a host of international experts on establishing. And understanding our energy and material flows and conceptualizing the city for one planet living. These are all new and exciting topics that push the limits of where we've come from with the concepts of sustainable cities and sustainable urban development. We offer a building science master's credential. This program builds regional capacity of knowledge and the skills that are necessary to challenge our conceptions of what actually can be achieved in terms of high performance, durable, healthy buildings. We offer both a Master's of Engineering in Building Science and a Master of Applied Science in Building Engineering and Building Science. The Master of Engineering in Building Science is a 1-year full-time credential. The Applied Science is 2 years. Both these credentials can also be taken through part-time mode between 5 and 7 years if you want to go at a slower pace. And here's some examples of the courses that are offered in that credential. We also offer a graduate certificate in building energy modeling. This is a 1-year credential. It can also be taken over a longer period of time in a part-time studies mode. This credential builds off the same courses that are in the Building Science Master's program, but its focus is particularly on the discipline of energy modeling. Energy modelers are integral now to the high-performance buildings and net zero buildings because they understand how design and engineering mechanical systems work together to create the optimization of buildings' energy use. And so you will find energy modeling is in high demand now, not only in Vancouver, but across the world. And this certificate enables those who want to enter this emerging field to do so. Here's some examples of the courses that we offer in the Graduate Certificate in Building Energy Modeling. We offer an advanced certificate in sustainable energy management. Energy managers work with existing buildings to make sure that they're optimized both in their operation and that the users of those buildings understand what their role is in performance around greenhouse gas emissions, conservation of energy, conservation of water, etc. So this program enables people to enter the field of energy management, both looking after a portfolio of buildings, portfolio of infrastructure, or working within cities at the community energy management scale. And this credential is fully online and open to an international audience. Here are some examples of the courses we offer in this credential. We have an environmental engineering program. It's a bachelor's credential. It's available on a part-time basis. Environmental engineers are found wherever a project has a significant environmental impact. These people deal with water and wastewater management, landfill management, greenhouse gas recovery installations in landfills. They're dealing with energy installations, run-of-river or wind generation, any kind of project in the infrastructure mode that's going to affect nature or harness nature services falls within the field of environmental engineering. This program is very diverse. We take a wide intake of students from a variety of backgrounds, and the demand for this program is strong. Here's an example of the kinds of courses you can take in environmental engineering. We offer a bachelor and a master's credential in ecological restoration. Unlike environmental engineering, ecological restoration is really focusing on rehabilitation in an entire biological and integrated way of our natural environments, dealing with rivers, forests, other wildlife habitat, and regeneration of species. This program at the bachelor's level is the first of its kind in Canada, and at the master's level also the first of its kind, which we offer now in joint credential with Simon Fraser University, a university located here in British Columbia. Here are some of the courses that are available through our ecological restoration program. We also offer a forest and natural areas management program. This is a fully integrated 2-year diploma program with a focus on forestry, arboriculture, and natural resource management, supporting the growth of sustainable communities. And here are some of the courses that we offer in this program. We offer construction management bachelor's credential. It focuses on managing people, equipment, money to make sure that schedules and plans are implemented on time, on budget in construction. Projects deal with many, many different disciplines. So in construction management, you have to learn how to lead teams effectively, understand and apply relevant legislations, make decisions, and manage the project to achieve its sustainable building objectives. Here's some of the courses that are offered in this credential. We offer a bachelor's credential in, This is our Center for Architectural Ecology, my apologies. This center provides extended education in green roofs and living walls. It's a remarkable place. It's a leader in Canada and the world for the integration of living systems within the within the built environment. Here's some of the courses that are offered through our Centre for Architectural Ecology. We offer a bachelor's degree in architectural science. This is a technology that bridges design theory with construction practice, and it builds off of 2 years of strong architectural building technology, supplemented with increasing studio emphasis in the last 2 years of this credential. The degree enables students to apply problem-solving methodologies to construction technology, design, and management issues with respect to the building industry, and incorporates environmental issues associated with buildings and urbanization. And here's some of the courses that we offer in this credential. We also offer courses in sustainable urban development. Sustainable urban development looks at the industrial ecology of cities, how to manage energy and resource flows, how to work effectively with government and non-government organizations and community groups to build strong communities going forward. And here's some of the courses that we offer, here's some of the instructional courses we offer. And we also provide tailored services for industry leaders that are looking to customize education to meet the needs of their specific organization. We can draw upon a vast array of expertise and knowledge in sustainable built environments, in construction and the natural environment, as well as draw on courses that are relevant from the other 5 schools that we offer at BCIT. So if you are a government or industry corporation that's interested in customized technology that leverages the skills and capabilities of our institute, we're here and ready to work with you. One of the things that we also do at BCIT is applied research. So we do work with corporations and organizations to help solve the needs that they're facing in the real world. That's the essence of applied. And we take that very seriously and are demonstrating it ourselves at BCIT in the north end of our campus, where we're transforming the existing built environment to become sustainable. We're aiming to achieve a 75% reduction in the energy use and material flow through of this part of the campus, looking at 7 buildings. And to date, we've actually achieved over 90% energy savings in several of these buildings. And we are on target to get to a 50% reduction across all 7 buildings by the end of this year with the installation of a new biomass wood waste to energy facility. So we use this as a living lab educational resource for the students that are studying in our courses. We have an online website that's fully populated with all the building drawings, schematics, case studies, etc. And anyone is welcome to come and look at that resource. You don't actually have to be a student. You can come and learn how we're doing the reduction of energy and material flows by a factor of 4. That's equivalent to 75%. And our long-term goal is actually to achieve factor 10, a 90% reduction in energy and material savings. Why are we doing that? Because that's what science says we need to achieve in order to become ecologically sustainable at the global scale. So our education in sustainable built environments definitely can benefit your career. The world is changing. We now live in the Anthropocene. It's an era defined by human intervention in our natural systems. As populations grow and demands through consumption grow, the ability to curtail those demands through sustainable built environment design, construction, implementation, and management is in higher demand now more than ever. So we invite you to join us in our efforts to both support the City of Vancouver and help the world build a better future through education in sustainable built environments. And now we can take questions from the audience and the floor. Thank you for your attention. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Excuse me. Is the environmental engineering that you are offering the same as the environmental engineering technology being offered in that building SW2?
Is the environmental engineering program that we're offering the same? Yes, it is.
Yes, exactly
Yes.
the same.
It's the same program. It's offered at BCIT, Environmental Engineering.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called Environmental Engineering.
Yeah.
It's the same program.
Thank you.
So maybe I'll just say a quick word about that program. and then we'll wait for any other questions. So the environmental engineering program went through a major overhaul about 7 years ago to incorporate sustainability in its curriculum. The course starts with foundation courses in principles of sustainable development, and then students have the opportunity to branch out and take disciplinary specific courses either in the hydrosphere, focusing on soils and waters, lithosphere and hydrosphere, or atmosphere, looking at energy and atmospheric pollutant management. So coming out of that credential, you would be well qualified to either work in environmental consulting firms that are doing rehabilitation work, that are consulting on how to minimize impacts through infrastructure developments at the municipal, provincial, or national government scale, how to be a person who is working to advance climate mitigation and climate stabilization initiatives, or also how to protect local air quality. Yeah.
Hi, thanks. I'm just wondering if you can expand a little bit on the EcoCity program. I'm just wondering kind of where it came from and kind of what you're hoping to achieve through the program.
Okay, sure. So the School of Construction Environment has a long-standing affiliation with EcoCity Builders, the international non-government organization that's now a UN-accredited organization for the advancement of sustainable cities. We are concerned with the natural environment, the built environment, and the relationship between them. And EcoCities is an organization that's really concerned about building cities in balance with nature. So we had a natural affinity. We've been working collaboratively to identify what really is required by science in order to be ecologically sustainable, and how would we measure that? So many of the metrics that are being used for sustainable cities assessment are more peer-to-peer based, so incremental improvements towards becoming more environmentally friendly, more socially responsible. But what we were really interested in is how do you actually know if you are in balance with nature? And so we've been collaborating for several years in the development of the International EcoCity Framework and Standards. And from that now we have learned enough to offer a course that we believe will inform how to build an EcoCity, a city that is in balance with nature. The course we're going to run the first time is a short 2-week course that will be offered in Vancouver. It will focus on topics such as the builder sequence. How do you actually build 3-dimensional, highly dense cities that are pedestrian oriented? How do you assess the sustainability of those cities using various tools such as the International EcoCity Framework and Standards, ecological footprint analysis, a whole variety of urban metabolism and other tools. We'll look at how do you integrate urban agriculture, pedestrianization, how do you understand energy and material flows. We'll be going to visit some living buildings in Vancouver. So really looking at what is the most far-reaching leading edge in sustainable built environment science and demonstrations that we can find. And again, we're fortunate to be here in Vancouver, so we do have a few examples, and we'll also bring in some of the international examples, because by no means are we the world's only green city, and there are many places in the world that are doing a much better job, both in the developed world and developing world context. So this course is really trying to hone the understanding of cities as they exist in their urban ecosystems. And the urban ecosystem is not defined by the boundary of the city itself. It is the whole geographic area from which the city is drawing resources and to which the city is extruding waste. And so that's the frame of analysis that we look at when we look at sustainable built environments and how to build an ecocity. Yeah. Any other questions? None from our audience?
It's running a bit behind, so we have to wait.
Okay.
Just wondering if you could expand a little bit on how some of these programs interact with industry?
Sure, yeah. So many of our programs are developed directly with or in partnership with industry, so that Sustainable Energy Management Associate Certificate that I mentioned is a good example. BC Hydro is the provincial utility that provides electricity to most of the clients in British Columbia. And they are very interested in demand management for energy. So they approached us and said, we're looking to build more capacity for energy managers in the province. Could we devise a credential that helps do that? So until the Sustainable Energy Management Advanced Certificate was offered, the only people that were really going into that field were either engineers or electricians. And so we sat down with BC Hydro and also the Natural Resources Canada's Office of Energy Efficiency and mapped out what were the essential knowledge competencies that were required in this field, and how did we bring those together? And what we heard is that the technical knowledge is important, but the business skills are also really important. So we customized a curriculum working with our industry partners to identify what's needed for educational provision in this field. And that's how we evolved the credential. And we actually also received funding from Natural Resources Canada's Office of Energy Efficiency and BC Hydro to develop the credential. And later, FortisBC, the natural gas utility provider for most of the province, came on board as well and helped us put that curriculum online so it can be offered both across the province and across the world. So that's just an example of how we will build credentials that help meet the needs of industry. Does that answer your question? So maybe while we're waiting for any questions from our online audience, I'll just say one more thing about working with industry. We are also using our campus as a living lab of sustainability and have committed to that since 2005. And we have a project called the Smart MicroGrid, which we also are developing with BC Hydro, and that's to isolate our campus to understand how electrons flow back and forth across the grid and how realistic is it for us to generate energy on site. So we have one of Canada's largest photovoltaic solar installations on campus. We have a small micro-G exchange system on campus. We've just built a wood waste energy facility which only utilizes wood waste generated from our own operations. And so we're trying to look at how do you scale things appropriately and where can demand help reduce our energy requirements, and then how do we supply the rest of that demand with renewable energy technologies, and how can information technologies enable us to make smart use of our energy. So it's an ongoing project. It's been going for many, many years. We've had students, faculty, and industry participants, so Schneider Electric's been involved, a whole bunch of different companies. It's a great opportunity. So any company that's interested in this, we've had Copper Cube and other different meter organizations that want to test out near to market commercialization technologies. We enable that to happen here in our campus's Living Lab example as well. Yeah.
We have a question from our audience online. Do you teach any course related to passive house?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, the answer is yes. In fact, we're running our very first Passive House Trades Technology course this weekend. It starts on Friday. There's still maybe an opportunity to enroll in that course if you're interested. It runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on our campus. It's the first one of its kind that's being offered here in Canada because it's a hands-on skills trades training which enables people to understand and see the wall assemblies and how to build the airtightness that's required for the passive house. We also, of course, incorporate passive house design theory in our architectural science program, and we have 2 instructors. This is one of the things that we pride ourselves on at BCIT is we include instructors who are active in leading in the industry, who are involved with Simon Fraser University in building the first multi-residential unit building in passive house. So we definitely teach passive house, and we're going to build our capacity in teaching more of that going forward. Any other questions? And thanks for the question, whoever asked that. Okay, well, if there's not any more questions, maybe we'll wrap it up. Okay, so I'd really like to thank everyone for coming to our information session. As I mentioned, all the information that we've presented here is going to be available online. Please visit us at www.bcit.ca/construction, and we will also be following up with all of you individually with more information about the courses that we talked about here today and the relevant URLs. Thank you again for joining us at BCIT School of Construction and the Environment, where we're leading the way in education in sustainable built environments. Thank you.